So Cuomo is seeking political redemption. Will AOC endorse in the race, and will it make a difference? So I don't know. Is Cuomo seeking for redemption? Is he looking for AOC's endorsement? So much more in this episode of Dragon Ball Z. So time to gather the Dragon Balls and see if Cuomo will get his political redemption. Well, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you. I'm going to defer to Due Dissidents and Larry Sharp and good friend of the show, Jose Vega. And I think in some form or another, look, the run for New York mayor might be a foregone conclusion. Okay. And if I'm overthinking it, hey, Keaton, Russell, on the off chance you're watching the show, Larry, if you're watching the show by off chance, correct me in the comments section or just correct me on social media. I mean, it's fine, but it looks like maybe Cuomo might have this in the bag. And look, I'm not saying this just to get people upset, but you know, when I had Larry Sharp on the show, it really looked like, and at least from our conversation, that Cuomo will very well succeed in becoming the next mayor of New York City, unless voter turnout's going to be different. But let's go ahead and play this video from Case Study QB. Follow Case Study on all social media. He's doing some great work. He's a good guy. He's my kind of guy. He's my kind of guy indeed. As I have to say, somehow you sit through corporate media, you're better than me, man. 100 billion times better than me.
Andrew Cuomo left the New York governor's office.
Now, I understand the volume might be a little bit low on this one, so when I clip the video, I will be raising the volume.
Andrew Cuomo left the New York governor's office plagued by scandal barely 4 years ago. Now he's hoping to chart his way back to power, and he may very well do it. He's the favorite to win the Democratic primary next month in the New York mayoral race. Cuomo, you recall, resigned from his office as governor after a series of sexual misconduct allegations he denies. He says his competent leadership is what New York City needs right now.
I believe we need to fix this city. I believe the time is now. I believe we need to make change and make dramatic change and make it fast and let people believe in this city once again and save lives that we're losing.
My apologies for leaving out good friend of the show. No sound bites allowed. No sound bites was our only Republican voice for our coverage of the November 5th election in 2024. Fact is, once Cuomo jumped in the race, it was over. Media won't speak about anyone else. Republican, conservative don't have the cash. It's terrible. Very similar to Chicago politics, but I'll up your ante. Oh, one more, Mike. Don't worry. In Chicago, it's very difficult for other voices to rise up, but we actually did have a conversation with one person who is part of the group Flip Chicago Red, and they actually did the unthinkable, and that is they succeeded in doing so, turning 2 districts red during the November 5th election, and that's the first time it's ever happened in Chicago politics. So is there an opening? Possibly in Chicago. But I see that door slamming very fast, because if this small conservative group, Republican adjacent group can do it, that means third parties and independents can do it. And I can see the Democrat machine ramping up whatever energy it has left to close that door. So some hope in Chicago, maybe, but I see it being snuffed out. But yes, it is a fact. And Mike, he has a show. He's from New York City too, and pretty much from my conversations, it's a foregone conclusion. Cuomo very well can become the next mayor of New York City. And anyone want to here, Fred Edward. Andrew Cuomo is complacent in the deaths of thousands of senior citizens. He should be barred from federal and state employment. Full stop. Well, see, Fred Edward, first of all, shout out to you. Thank you for the comment. See, you made one small mistake there. You're using common sense, buddy. And I'm willing to bet 100% of the audience agrees with you right now with this full statement. Again, Andrew Cuomo is complacent in the deaths of thousands of senior citizens. He should be barred from federal and state employment. Full stop. Great comment. I agree. But the problem is it makes sense. It's reasonable. It's correct. Hell, I can't see how anybody, libertarian, conservative, Republican, dare I say it, liberal, Democrat, socialist, communist, independent, I don't see how they would disagree with it, because I think we all remember 2020. I think we all do. Oh, well. Correct statement. Fred Edward was the winning statement of the day. Thank you. Thank you. Fred Edward was to win. Mandatory thumbs up for Fred Edward. He's saying what we're all thinking.
Losing out there every night unnecessarily. I know how to make change. I've done it before, I'll do it again. But I need you beside me.
My smart reporters are back around the table. New York City native and political expert on all things, especially New York. Isaac, the floor is yours.
I covered the last Cuomo comeback after his 2002 gubernatorial campaign crashed and burned, and his marriage broke apart on the front page of the New York Post. And then he worked his way up to being attorney general and governor, and was sort of the king of Albany in many ways, including having a lot of people hate him. I remember when the sexual allegations, the misconduct allegations came out, I was talking to a state senator then who said, I think you should resign. And I said, but you thought that anyway. And he said, oh yeah, definitely. It has been not even 4 years since Cuomo has resigned. One of the stunning things that has come up in my conversations with people who were working on the other mayoral campaigns is that when they were doing focus groups and they asked people.
Now, again, you remember 4 years ago, that's when Cuomo held office, and Fred Edwards says, silly me, still holding actual morals and belief in following the laws on the books. Yep. See, hey, audience. Hey, we're going to have a little sit down here. Silly people. The laws of the land don't apply to our overlords and rich people. Silly people, the oligarchs control everything. Now you better listen to the laws of the land or they will beat you with an inch of your life. Do you understand? Good. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. And look, I'm actually, here's the thing. Okay. Like, oh, I might start a fight with New Yorkers now. All right, hang on. This might be the Great War. If this is the end of Kit Cabello, Mike, listen. If you're listening, listen carefully, okay? Because I'm not trying to be mean to New York City, but this is a direct message to New Yorkers. Keaton and Russell from Due Distance. I love you guys. Nothing but respect. Jose Vega, nothing but respect. Larry, nothing but respect. You know, in Illinois, a lot of our governors have been arrested. Like, seriously, that's a thing. And in Illinois, like, yes, we have had aldermen and mayors be in office for decades, you know, or either that hand their seat off to the next person. But once their career is done, like, they're done, you know? And while there is talk about maybe Rahm Emanuel potentially running in Illinois politics, like, once people in Chicago hate somebody enough and they want them to be gone, there's going to be a reason or why they're going to be gone out of office. Either going to go to jail, resign, health problems, or die in office, right? Something like that. But man, putting Cuomo as mayor and everyone just going along with it. Chicago has a lot of problems, and we're number two. We're number two in the most corrupt city in the country. We're number one, and once you remove Washington, D.C., but Jesus Christ, New York City, even we wouldn't do something like that. Hey, New Yorkers, y'all all right? Because, see, Chicago, we got lead in our drinking water. We got a lot of poison in our drinking water. And while we do have the best superior pizza, man, even we wouldn't do this. And that's saying a lot, New York City. And I say this out of love. But really, that's it? You guys just, Cuomo, that's it. Like, if that's the case, got some splaining to do.
People, well, what do you think of the sexual misconduct allegations? So what do you think about the scandal about the people who died in the nursing homes during COVID? That people are saying like, yeah, I remember something about that, but not really. Like, there is this block on the memory of Cuomo, except for the parts that he has been stressing, which are competent management. People might challenge whether he actually was a competent manager, but people have this sense of that in New York. The city has been really battered in a lot of ways by the continuing fallout from COVID and crime rates. And there is this turn toward him as a kind of strong man to stand up to some of the forces in the city, some of what's been going on with migrants in the city, and to stand up to Donald Trump. We'll see what that actually amounts to. It's a month left until the primary. A lot can change, but he has had a consistent lead. The one wrinkle here is that ranked choice voting exists in New York, and that may change things a little bit.
So at ranked choice voting exists, and it is not a small field. It is a very large field. We'll just put up on the screen how big it is. It doesn't mean that it's impossible for Andrew Cuomo to win. It just means that, like we have seen in recent history, it might take a little while longer.
You know what? I'm rooting for the guy in the clown makeup because at least he's honest there. Oh, I think, hey, I think we're really at the end times. You know, all red. You know what? I think we're here. Listen. Just seeing this image right here. You know, it's over. It's over, folks. There is no happy ending. So look, when the end time comes, chances are I'll already be dead. But if I see you, I'll be like, oh, damn, they got you too. Shoot. I was rooting for you.
Because of the way the ranked choice voting works. The other factor, and this is what, 3 weeks away?
A month
Away, a month from today, is AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who has not endorsed yet. And again, we're talking about the Democratic primary. This is New York City, so the Democratic primary is very, very important. The mayoral endorsement of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez may be one of the most arduous to get, but it is worth it because with the Democratic primary less than a month away, few moments are left that could change the trajectory of the race. This is from New York Magazine this morning. Phil, you have covered AOC for a while now, and she has, very clear strategy and how she wants to make an impact or sometimes not make an impact.
And I think the latter part is going to be the thing that I think is kind of interesting here at this point. And I'll say this, my source being the guy who's sitting across from me, who's from New York and has covered New York politics for years. Is this actually, like, what's this going to mean when or if she endorses? Am I allowed to quote you here? I'm not sure it's going to matter. And I think that's what's interesting is, okay, so if that's going to be the case, or if that's one of the elements here that she has to consider, to your point, methodical, understands strategic kind of goals and what she's going for. You can never mistake Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as somebody who's not thinking through kind of the long game, I think, which is what, to a credit to her. I think when you talk.
I want to acknowledge my Kick audience. I love you, Kick audience. You guys and gals are beautiful. You wrote, hey, New York City or New York State. Remember when Cuomo did stuff to your grandparents? I remember. Petridge Farm remembers. Okay, hold on. Commercial says Cuomo fired health workers because they had natural immunity and did not need the fake vaccine. He needs to be locked up. Yep, Cuomo. There, and It's Me, Sarah P says there's no adjusting a sick society. Oh well. It's impressive we've gotten this far.
Talk to Democrats around her, even those who aren't necessarily always a fan. How does she, thinking with that as kind of the baseline here, think about her own endorsement, if one comes at all, and what role she wants to play in this race? Particularly, it seems like Cuomo is at the very least going to win the primary. And if you're going to win the primary, probably have a pretty good shot against the guy who's running as an independent, who was indicted and then made a deal, and then a lot of different dynamics.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Yes, take a quick break, but hold on, folks, because there's another side. Okay, and look, I want to give a huge shout again in those sound bites. Look, there's a good chance. There's a good chance the Republican Party and a snowflake has a better chance in Vulcan's Forge to make it out than a Republican running for New York mayor. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, but there's somebody else who's challenging at least the Cuomo lead, the Cuomo narrative, the Cuomo propaganda. I know, but it's important to at least hear another side of it. Does AOC play a role? Who will she endorse? Well, she will be a power player. Don't be disappointed how she uses her power.
Now to Decision 2025 in that race for mayor. There are just 28 days until the primary, 18 until early voting.
28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years later.
And only 8 days until the candidates debate right here on NBC New York. Today, one of the candidates detailed more of his housing plan. Also, public advocate Jumaane Williams endorsed 2 candidates. And government affairs reporter Melissa Russo is in the newsroom with more on that. Melissa.
Well, Andrew Cuomo's campaign and the polls, as you know, Adam, have projected a sense of inevitability that he'll just walk away with this Democratic nomination. But some of Cuomo's better-known rivals say that 4 weeks in New York is enough to change that. So some of them are teaming up to try to block Cuomo.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Who says there can only be one number one? Public advocate Jumaane Williams today endorsed two number one candidates.
They're co-number ones. We're very excited about that. Co-number ones.
Jumaane originally endorsed Comptroller Brad Lander as his top choice for mayor. But then Council Speaker Adrienne Adams jumped into the race late. So today, the public advocate urged Democrats to rank either one first on their ranked choice ballots.
And I think both of them are great number ones. And I made sure I kept my word to Brad, being one or two. One is better than two.
New Yorkers deserve a mayor that brings you no drama, no trauma, no scandal, and no corruption.
Oh, you're gorgeous. New York City without corruption. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. There's no corruption in New York City politics ever. Hey, folks, there's no corruption in Chicago politics ever. Jesus Christ. It's a madhouse. It's all a madhouse. Listen, you know what? Never mind. Never mind.
That is Adrienne Adams. Will always be one of the people, for the people, to empower the people, because City Hall is still the people's house.
And when we have a more affordable city with affordable housing, with affordable childcare, and with great neighborhoods for all New Yorkers, that is the New York City that everyone deserves.
Jumaane Williams is joining others, endorsing multiple candidates other than Cuomo. It's a ranked choice strategy designed to lift up other Democrats at the expense of the former governor.
You should vote for someone who is going to have that as a focus, not some kind of redemption tour, not trying to figure out what's next for their career.
Zohran Mamdani today announcing plans to enable more home ownership in Brooklyn, claimed he's closing in on Cuomo's lead.
With 4 weeks left, this is the position we want to be in. It's about to be a single-digit race, and we know that every single New Yorker knows who Andrew Cuomo is. He's a former governor who's the son of a former governor, and yet he's still unable to secure a majority of New Yorker support in that first round.
But with ranked choice voting, Cuomo does not need to win in the first round. He's placed first in all polls so far and has been largely out of public view, though he did post on Monday that he took the subway to dinner with his daughter. Usually he's spotted traveling the city in his Dodge Charger.
Okay, well, look, I wouldn't be broadcasting that. There's a lot of weirdos out there.
Today, the Cuomo campaign said in a statement that Cuomo will be the effective leader that this city deserves, that he'll fix what's broken, while the other candidates, they insist, have no record and no vision. The Cuomo campaign adding that his rivals are running to serve what they're calling Bill de Blasio's third term. Gilma?
So, the takeaway. What is the big takeaway? In 28 days, New Yorkers, or in a few days from now, you guys have to make a very difficult decision. And I'm going to say it's a difficult decision because for the most part, as soon as Cuomo got in the race, it looked like it was over. What happened to your state 4 years ago with your senior citizens is extremely disappointing and sad. What's happening to you and your state right now, in your city, like you have to make the choice. Do you want Do you want Cuomo as your mayor? Make the choice. That choice is yours. Now, I'm not saying all the other choices are better, but you could do so much better than Cuomo. And as for AOC and her role, look, if she endorses somebody, fine. But I'm going to give a little bit of advice here. The best thing AOC can do right now is not get involved in the New York City mayoral race. All right. Like, that's the last thing. It would be a dumb move on her part. All right. That's my little sprinkle of advice. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And let's end this with somebody from New York City. New York City. Mind you, Democrats control New York politics since 1958. Result, debt greater than most nations, exodus of population 45 Congress to 26. Crime infrastructure failure, yet unions, media push Democrats only. Same thing in Chicago. Same thing in Chicago. And Cat Turtle says, can you say rigged? Well, I mean, and Prim 54, a dumb move she's likely to do anyway. I don't know. I would say probably not. You know, there's a lot more to factor in for a New York City run, and whether AOC will endorse anybody. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if she endorses one of Cuomo's challengers, with the polling data showing Cuomo in such a significant lead, it very well could be again what the end result will be is Cuomo becoming mayor of New York City. If it doesn't, it will be the upsetter of the year, or at least for this year in 2025. We shall see what happens. New York City, make the choice. But remember, Chicago-style pizza is always the best.